Hey guys, today on JD Cars we'll be installing new high beam bulbs on a BMW 328i. So as you can see, it's quite snowy here. There's about a foot of snow outside. I just pulled my car into the garage here and we're gonna get going on this install of new 6000K HID bulbs on my BMW 328i. So just to clarify, installing these high beam bulbs is going to require removing the wheel and the fender liner, which isn't a big deal, but it's a bit different from the low bulb replacement, which only requires removing this little door here in the fender liner. So we'll get started here and I'm gonna go ahead and remove the front wheel. Now we'll be removing this portion of the fender liner. So to start off, we're gonna have to remove 5 8mm screws, which are located here, one here, another just above it, 2 up top here, and then we're gonna have to remove this 10mm nut right here. We also need to remove 5 8mm screws underneath the fender liner here. So after you remove those screws, you can go ahead and pull your fender liner out and set that aside. Now, as you can see, we have access to the headlight. So this right here is actually your low beam, which isn't the bulb we're changing right now. And this bulb is really easy to access. You can actually access it just by removing a little door here. However, the high beam cannot be accessed very easily from that door, so that's why we removed the fender liner. The high beam is located over here, and it's accessed by removing a similar cap. I apologize because this is a really tight space and it's impossible to film in there, but you remove this cap off the back of the high beam bulb housing, then you're going to reach into the housing, unclip the bulb, and you're going to pull the bulb out, and then we can replace it. So luckily I was able to get my phone in there and I took a picture to better illustrate how to remove the bulb. So at the bottom of the picture there, you can see a little loop-shaped wire. So you're gonna have to push that in and to the right, and that will release the bulb. That's the only thing that actually holds the bulb in place. It's just that little wire spring assembly. Then you're gonna pull the bulb out, disconnect the negative wire to the housing, and disconnect the positive wire going to the bulb. As you can see, I've got my bulb dangling here, so we're just gonna go and disconnect it here. So here's the old bulb. I'm going to be replacing it with a much brighter white 6000K HID bulb. So let's get into it. I've got the new bulbs here and I just want to do a little side-by-side comparison of the new ones versus this old one. As you can see immediately, this is much more heavy duty. Just like, look at the size difference. The new bulb has a metal heatsink that goes all the way around, and actually the cooling fan inside to keep the light cool. It also has a power converter because it needs much more power. So just comparing the two lights here, you can see the two plates that secure them are practically the same, and more importantly, the focal length is the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the new light here. I've got the new light hooked up here, and I actually read in the directions it doesn't matter the polarity, so you should be good either way. I'm going to go ahead and install this new bulb in the high beam housing. So I've got the new high beam bulb installed, and because of this power adapter right here, I actually had to enlarge the hole in the back of the housing there to allow it to pass it through, and I'm just going to keep the housing out here because it is waterproof and it has a waterproof seal on the connector. Now it's time to turn on the car and try out the new high beam bulb. The new high beam bulb is incredibly bright, and I love the fact that the color matches the angel eyes. The headlights are pointing at my garage door here, and you can see there's a huge difference between the new bulb on the left here and the old bulbs which are on the right. The new bulb has a much wider pattern, which is excellent. It's brighter and it has a much better color. The old bulb on the right is really concentrated. It has a yellow color and it's not as bright. So now that we've got the new high beam bulb installed, all that we have to do is reinstall the fender liner and our wheel. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like below and subscribe if you've yet to do so. Thanks, see you next time on JD Cars.